Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing some clips that I took while playing Stardew Valley. A lot of the time when I'm playing Stardew Valley, I'm playing with my sister, so this is a clip from co-op. The problem I have with co-op is that a lot of the times it glitches or freezes time, and a lot of players find they get stuck between screens. This was a fun little cutscene. I didn't know that the spring onion was something that you get to put in your wallet. This is the first time I've gotten this cutscene, and I think it's triggered by being close friends with Vincent and Jazz. Not exactly sure what it contributes, beyond just adding a little quirky thing to your gameplay. That's what it looks like when it's in your wallet. I married Shane, and I think I've married him every gameplay. He's one of my favorite characters. I think the next time around I'm going to marry Sebastian though, just to switch it up. A lot of random cutscenes that I went through. I really like putting masks on my children to make them look weird. This kind of reminds me of the scene, like if your friends told you to jump off a bridge, would you? No, I don't think I'd be good at it. Truth. I think Penny really wants babies. Though, given her history of abuse, I don't know if it's a good idea. This is where I try to harass Shane to see if I've talked to him. Usually he doesn't like to talk to me when he's not at the farm. I think he's up to something. Likes to play like he doesn't know me in public. We have 2 kids at home. Don't play me like this. Technically, fresh fish shouldn't smell, so that's an odd reaction for him. How long have the fish been sitting out? I really wish we got to keep the fish from this, but also I caught a secret note in this area once, and I was like, why would you have it so I could pick up a secret note and not be able to actually read it, because I lose it after leaving that cutscene. Ooh, this was a good one. Gives a little background between Krobus and the dwarf. Really wish we got to get more insight on the wars that are going on in Stardew Valley, and like more of the history, I guess. It's my first time getting Vincent as a secret Santa person. He did give me an artifact, but the artifact was something I already had. I spent a lot of my previous gameplays avoiding Haley because of how rude she was, but then I figured it out that once you get her to a certain number of hearts, she's less likely to be rude to you. And I thought these pictures were really funny, where she gets all messy, getting knocked off a cow. I found out from other people playing this game that you can find the wizard in almost any special event, except for, like, I think Winter Star Feast, you can't find him. But if you zoom out, he's up at the top corner. He's watching his daughter, Abigail, which he assumes there's a person in town through regular gameplay that is related to him, but they never specifically say unless it's one of those mod run-throughs. I really wish they would add more content like that to the backstories, even though it's very rich. Like, this game has a lot of information for every character, and it's really well done. But oh, I want more. I want to know more. I always think this dance looks funny because our character doesn't get animated the same way. But it's nice that it gives a quality of, like, you know, you can still have these cutscenes and have your character perfectly placed in them without taking away from their originality. Our favorite scene boy slash emo boy slash whatever you want to call him, because honestly, he could fit into a number of categories. Really like that he's a computer programmer. Being around people makes me feel anxious too, Sebastian. Oh, he's so sweet. And after 30 minutes of already being out in the rain, that's when he pulls out the umbrella. A little picture of my farm thus far. I really thought that the tea leaves were going to be a better venture, so I kind of filled my house with them. And then I got way too many of them, and later on ended up taking most of those out, so I only have 10 plants left in my current house. I saw that you can make different teas, but so far the only tea that I've been able to make is the green tea, which is still pretty cool, but not really all that useful. Now, I've gotten full hearts with a lot of people at this point in the game. I'm still working on a few of them. I swear I've been working on just getting Leah past 8 hearts for an eternity now. 2 gifts per week and still very slow going progress. I like to do a lot of that stuff during winter, being social and all that, since a lot of the gameplay is undoable in the winter. I mean, you can still have the greenhouse and all that, but your animals stay inside, and most of my animals on my farm are pigs. I love when the fairy comes to visit. If you plant fairy roses, she will come, and she will make a certain number of your crops grow faster. Here are some cutscenes from a few of the people that I've talked about. Maybe not necessarily talked about, but talked with. I like these cutscenes a lot. This is the first time in a playthrough that I've tried to get close to Harvey, so I'm learning more about him at this point too. I think his story is that he's afraid of heights, but he always wanted to be a pilot, so he never got to do that. So he made model airplanes instead. My pigs can put truffles in the weirdest places, let me tell you. I've always been able to get to the truffles, but man, they make it really difficult. Another spring dance, just to show the progression. I think all of these videos are in proper timeline, but some might be out of sequence. Clearly not much has changed this time around. I wonder why they all wear that light blue. It kind of looks like they're all wearing Joja Cola outfits. You spend a lot of time making wine, man. A lot of time. Here comes the fairy again. Also, if you plant flowers in proximity to your honeybees, the honey will come up as the honey based on the flower. So sunflower honey, berry rose honey, blue jazz honey, and they're worth a lot more without making them into another artisan good. So don't turn them into mead, just sell them as they are. Unless you want to, turn them into mead and sell them that way. It works. This game is technically not supposed to be about making money. It's supposed to be slower pace, where you can just get involved with all these activities and not worry necessarily about how much money you're making. Here she comes again. Note all the fairy roses. I did start sorting things out and making my own collections based on the Stardew Valley Facebook groups that I saw. A lot of my inspiration came from that. I just really like reorganizing things, so I'll rework my farm and my house all the time to make things more efficient. Truffles are worth a lot more money when they're iridium quality, and it turns out they're more valuable than the oil if they're iridium quality. So if you get the iridium foraging, you can just pick them up and sell them right away without having to turn them into oil to get the value of them. Again with the truffles in the weird spots. I did name my farm Olympus, and I did this for two reasons. One, Lore Olympus is fantastic. Two, Greek mythology is just amazing. And three, I recently fell in love with Hades Town, so my cat in this is named Eurydice. I named my children Rhea and Rayin, which are based off of Rey from Star Wars, because I really like her. When it's late in the season, I try to make sure a lot of the planting spots have at least one or two types of seeds in them that are like 4-day seeds, or ones that'll transition over. That way I have to do less hoe work and setting up the next season. But I think at this point in the game I finally got the golden clock, which is 10 million gold. Took me forever to save up that money. I think a lot of my money came from truffles and starfruit. Either starfruit turned into wine and turned iridium quality, or it turned into other artisan goods like the jelly. I also use the ancient fruit, but I like to keep my greenhouse diverse, so it has a lot of plants that reproduce every few days, and then the rest of it is ancient fruit and starfruit. This is the longest I've played on any save file, 7 years. I have gotten to 5 years in the past, but at that point I was like, what else do I have to do? At this point, I've completed almost every achievement except for completing 40 of the help wanteds, crafting every item, and I think there's one more. I did place a bunch of ladders just to get to the 100th floor of Skull Cavern, because oh my gosh, I tried so many times, gotten so frustrated, I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. So this is how I got the achievement. You don't have to do it this way. This was just me frustrated, tired of it. And finally, the 100th floor to get the iridium quality snake milk. Because at this point I've already cooked every item. I have, become a beloved farmer, gotten 10 hearts with a lot of people. I have a lot of structures built. I have shipped 15 of every crop at the same time. I have made over, I think, was it 20 million in the game? And yeah, that's it. Have a great day.